Okay, let's apply this to Sandy. The conventional view of her problem was that there was a malfunction in her mind, a mental disorder called depression, manifesting as being in too long of a grieving period, as if there's a normal amount of time. The solution was thought to be to repair the malfunction, cure the disorder, by finding a new relationship or by covering over her sadness with medication. But this wasn't what her real process, her deeper mind and heart were seeking. Her grief, her wounding, when amplified, turned out to be a meaningful experience that led not only to the solution for her lost relationship, but to a whole new way of being as well. Her divorce had pushed her into a depression which, when intentionally focused on and amplified, sparked a song that gave her a new way of relating to life. What everyone, including her, said was wrong was actually her process trying to come forth to show her a new way. Now, if you're an uber rationalist, you might think, come on, Zwig, a song popped into her head. So what? It was purely random. What's your evidence that it was purposeful or that it meant anything? Sounds like an airy-fairy explanation of a coincidental event. That's an interesting hardcore voice in my head. Okay, let's unpack this sucker. I'm an empirical scientist. Empiricism means that scientific knowledge is acquired through sense experience, not through phenomena you can't actually observe. If you want scientific facts, you have to be able to see them, or detect them, or measure them. You can't just come up with ideas that seem to make sense, but have no hard evidence supporting them and call it science. You can call it philosophy or religion, but not science. When I work with someone, or on myself, I don't follow ideas I have in my head for which I have no empirical evidence. In other words, if you ask me what I believe about a certain problem me or a client has, I'd say I don't believe anything. I either know something because I have evidence or I don't. And the only way I can know something is by observing and studying what actually happens, not my interpretation of it. Like, for example, the psych diagnostic manual that says sadness for longer than 2 weeks is a mental illness. If you ask a psychiatrist how she knows this, she won't be able to tell you because it's a purely arbitrary idea. It's a made-up belief, not a scientifically established fact. This is why it's so easy for new editions of the manual to suddenly, and for no reason, present new guidelines. If we empirically observe Sandy's process, we see that every time she got really into her sadness, knocking on heaven's door popped into her ears. It happened repeatedly, and it wouldn't matter how you or I interpreted it, because that would just be our opinions. What matters is Sandy's sense experience. She said she heard the song, and I simply fed back to her, okay, hear the song. That's empiricism. It wouldn't have been empirical or scientific to interpret the meaning of Sandy hearing a song in her head because it wouldn't be based in sense data. That's why I simply said, listen to the song and see what happens. And what happened was that it evoked a transformative experience. Why it happened this way can't be known and is irrelevant. What mattered was following exactly what happened without superimposing my ideas over her process. The only understanding that's relevant is a description of what happened. Sandy was depressed. She amplified the feelings. A song distracted her. She listened to the song, and she had an awakening. If we want to get poetic, while sticking to the facts, we could say she discovered the hidden music within her grief, both literally and figuratively, by consciously going into her painful feelings instead of trying to get rid of them. She transformed to a song, but you don't need a song to change and grow. You just need to learn how to tap into and follow your process. Instead of thinking of your problem as a meaningless piece of junk you just want to throw out, think of it as a meaningful process with a beautiful song hiding within the ugliness. Of course, you can't just go straight to the song. You have to go through a process.